Hey there, how are you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Today we got a new pick a card reading, another banger. I'm super excited about this one. This one is all going to be about your energy map. Now, what do Spirit intends by that? This is one I just feel like it makes sense. So it makes a lot of sense within like Spirit's heads, not necessarily a lot in ours sometimes. But basically, what Spirit told me is like anyone who stumbled upon this video will get to learn more about themselves and how they work, and especially their energy body works. And these readings are going to be quite short, so there's gonna be a huge emphasis on um, confirmations of things that you already do know about yourself but needs to be said aloud for you to fully accept them, alongside other things that you may not always be thinking about but which may be very beneficial to you. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of awareness, I suppose, about becoming more aware of how we work energetically, because although we all have two arms and two legs, we have a lot of similarities from one. There are a lot of similarities from one human body to another, obviously, but there are also a lot of unique things. Especially when we start talking about the energy layer of our anatomy, that's when things can get drastically different from one person to another. There are obviously always things which are common to every one of us, and others which are very different. So, quite important for the sake of getting to know oneself and increasing the quality of our lives overall. So yeah, I'm very excited about this one. It feels very insightful what we got on our hands. So yeah, I'm really looking towards it. As of today, you can tell we got 3 crystals to be choosing from. I haven't laid any cards today, didn't feel really relevant. And so the 3 piles is the first one with the red Jasper. Second pile will be the moss agate. And the third pile is going to be, the Carnelian. There you go. The Carnelian. So yeah, as always, take your time to choose intuitively your pile, whichever pile you feel the most drawn to, even if it's more than one. And once you've made your choice, you can fast forward directly to timestamps provided down below. But yeah, I'm going to be seeing you at your reading. Super excited about this one. Let's get to it. Hey there, pal number 1, how are you doing? Welcome to the reading. I hope you're doing great. If you chose the red Jasper, that's going to be a reading, so we're going to get into it. The cards are already drawn, so we're going to get straight into uncovering them. I already had intuitively a bit of a feeling whenever I was like drawing your cards. Yeah, you are definitely of the manifestor kind. Okay, hear me out. I don't know much about this thing is coming to mind. Human design. Some of you may be into that. I have discovered a few things about it. I am very far from understanding everything. But you're definitely the kind of manifestor in this, if you use like this this thing to see things, this way of seeing things with through the human design. There's a lot of letting things come to you, I feel. And yeah, I feel like this is straightforward, so it will indeed be a bit of a shorter reading, which is great. Like the overall theme, before like jumping into the specifics, the overall theme is definitely you letting things come to you. And I'm already I just feel like it's hitting home, because sometimes we step into the illusion that it's like, I'm gonna try to gather my thoughts and say one thing at a time. That'll already be enough. Bear with me, please bear with me. We live in a society which is very much not made for that as a whole. So this is definitely like, those of you who are already rocking your boat, keep on doing it. Those of you, I feel like some others, just like me the first, maybe a little, it may be hit home, because there are a lot of us who grow up thinking that you need to do is like, especially at this point in time, you have realized that there are many fears expressing themselves in the world. There are a big transition, yada yada yada. You already know all of that. huge shifts happening, and one of the things that we're letting go of is fear. And within the society that we have built as a whole, there is this idea that in order to cope with the fear, you need to keep on chasing your objectives, right? And that is like, some people energetically function by being like a driving force. Again, if there would be like the generators when it comes to human design. I don't want to talk too much about human design because I feel like it's not necessarily the most relevant thing, but the whole point being, it does suit some people to function this way, to always be doing, to always be on the go, on the run. Some people are motivated by it, but when it comes to this pile, this is absolutely not how your energy field works. And some people, just like me, come from a background of us believing that we need to chase things in order to make things happen. And so that is, if you are not wired this way, which in this case you're not, we're not here, then it can become extremely detrimental because we're pushing through what is ultimately an illusion. We think that we need to do it this way because this is how we were taught, because this is what we see people doing around us, and we end up believing that this is the only way to do it. Wrong. That's not true. There are a billion ways of doing it. The overall energy that we have here is very much the one of a manifestor, the one of an attractor. Is you are not supposed, and yes, I feel that this is gonna hit hard for some, you're not supposed to chase. This is extremely detrimental to you. Again, some people are extremely motivated. I just want to make it clear that when we're within the context of this reading, we're not talking about how the human energy system works. We're talking about all the ways in which your energy system is different from the one of your neighbors. We're talking about the specific aspects of the human energy system, which are unique from one individual to another. Okay, I just want to make that clear yet again. And obviously I lost my train of thought. But the whole point is, yeah, some people are very motivated, once again, by doing the thing and are always looking towards the next thing to do. And this is how, yes, I know to some it feels crazy, this is how they feel genuinely inspired and motivated. And the more they do, the more energized they feel. And whenever I say these words, the first thing that you feel within your body is, yes, exhaustion. We're not all made to function the same way. You are the kind of person who is here to attract things and act whenever you feel inspired. We're in like the generator, manifesting generator types of human design here. One of the most detrimental thing for you is to slip into the illusion of, I need to do stuff in order to get what I want, because it's a very traditional belief, because this is one which our fears tend to favor. But how do you know it's not made for you? Because your body registers this paradigm as extreme exhaustion. And in fact, you are very prone to burnout. This is what I'm picking up on. Whenever you try to push yourself into doing something that you don't want to do, that do not inspire you, or you started it and somewhere in the middle it stopped being inspiring and you just keep on pushing yourself to do it, you quickly burn out, because this is not how you're meant to do it. And so now with that disclaimer out of the way, Spirit is saying that now we're going to start talking about how you do work. That we had you sitting down and that you understand and fully accept how it does not work, let's go and see what does work. What does work is when you fully claim your magic. Long story short, basically, you are asked to become really aware of how your energy works. A lot of you are already aware of that. A lot of you, all of those who don't necessarily understand that and how you concretely do that, I know that all of you are already inspired. All of you are the people who want things to be magical, who just cannot see themselves living a life where they have to figure it all out themselves. So your body does communicate to you in some ways how it is meant to function. You're very much here to take your time be extremely clear. One thing is like with the frog spirit, clear out the clutter. It's like be extremely careful when it comes to what parasites your mind space, whose opinion you're letting in, whose ideas you're letting in, because this is not necessarily detrimental. It can not it is not necessarily detrimental, but it can like pollute the space and clutter things up. You need to be extremely aware of what is your vision, your individualistic vision, what is your dream. And yes, your dream will be different than anyone else's, and that is very much the reason why you need to be extremely careful by who you invite in your presence and who you open up to and who you allow to give their opinion on what you're doing and what you're envisioning. Because yet again, your dream is not theirs, and your dreams happen to be quite unique, quite exciting. So they must not be confronted to other people's dreams and opinions, because their lives aren't yours. They're not dreaming and wanting the same things. You're invited to take time, and I know that this one can be a little triggering sometimes. It's like, yeah, we think that if we act more, if we take an action after another, and if we do and do and do, we're gonna get there faster. No, that's not true, sweetheart. The fastest way to get to where you want to go is to listen to the one who knows already where to go, which is the one who sees things from above, which is your higher self, your soul, or call it just the universe. That one who sees things from above knows the shortest path. The one looking at your situation from the top of the mountain sees you navigating down in the valley. They clearly see the map. They clearly see what's the fastest way. You just taking one action after another because you think that this is how you're going to get there is cute, but an illusion. It's not true. It's understandable, but it's not true. That's what I'm hearing. So that is really food for thought. Why do you think that doing more will get you there faster? This is something that a lot of people don't like because of, again, the society and the fears that we have built ourselves upon. But that is just not true. And that is very much one thing, is like your dreams and your destiny and all that you're becoming and the ways in which you function intrinsically are so beautiful and so powerful. Like with the new moon eclipse card, I'm definitely getting the sensation of you just being tailored for timeline jumping. You know, people in the manifestational community, they're like, oh yeah, if you're like super spiritually advanced, then you start timeline jumping. This is something that we do actually billions and billions in time of a second. This is what creates the illusion of time. The fact that we are quantum leaping trillions and upon trillions of time a second. This is what creates time within our mind. This is very natural, and this is very much how you function intrinsically. You're not here to work hard. It makes no sense to you. Your body does not register it as something that makes any sense. Again, it may make sense to your neighbor, not to you. You're not here to work hard. You're here to work aligned. And it's a profound, to those who are, it's both a confirmation and an asking for redirection to those who feel the resistance is there, because it's like, again, I just feel like Spirit is inviting some of us to stop working so hard and to come out of this lie, this illusion of if we do enough, then it's gonna happen. The only reason to why you doing enough make it happen is because you're using that lie as a permission slip. If I do enough of that, then I'm gonna allow myself to receive. Spirit is saying, there's no wrong answer. If you want to do it this way, then do it. But the drawback is that you're exhausting yourself and you're sick all the time. You don't have to do it this way. This is why it bothers you to think this way. You're definitely invited just to have a good life, to keep yourself pumped up, to focus on filling your own cup, to just, there's this invitation to just step into the good feeling, to step outside of the fear and the good feeling, and just know that it's happening for you. It's your soul. You're invited to be happy. You're invited to be joyful. You're invited to rely on the masculine energy of the universe. You are provided for. You are loved. And the universe is just dying to give or everything that you need. You're just an indivisible, yeah, it's better, sounds better, an indivisible piece of this universe. You're a child of this universe. It's a blessing, an honor to give you that which you want and need. You're just asked to, like, put your hands forward so as to receive it. Unless you believe it's not going to happen, unless you have attachments, obviously. You're really asked, what do you really want to do manifesting and doing? You're really asked to be unapologetic about what it is that you desire and take actions based off that. Some of us, because of the fears, yet again, it's understandable. There's nothing inherently wrong with that. It's just not aligned with how we best function. Some of us are just like, I am in fear, and so I'm just going to do this, this, and that, hoping that it works out. You are meant to function the exact opposite. This is what I want, so I'm just going to start taking actions which, to me right now, feel logical to take in this direction, and I'm just gonna figure it out along the way. But the quote-unquote I'm just gonna figure it out along the way isn't a naive sentence in the slightest. It's a profound understanding that you having decided on this goal and having taken a few actions towards it is a clear signal to the universe, to all that is, to your soul, that okay, I'm aligned with it. Guide me there, bring it to me now. And you will be communicated the next steps, as illogical as they may appear to someone in fear. It's not a naive sentence, it's not a belief, it's not hope even, it's not even fate at this point, it's a knowing of how things work and why you are designed this way. Guess what? If it was beneficial for you to work super hard, it wouldn't be exhausting. And in fact, as we were discussing at the beginning of the reading, there are people who are not exhausted by functioning this way because this is how it's aligned for them. That's not your case, yet again. Okay? So there truly is an invitation for you to first of all figure out all the fears that may be hindering you. And by figuring out, we obviously mean questioning them. Where are they coming from? Why have we been holding on to them? How come we feel safe in these illusions? What is the danger that we are being asked to let go of? The bad memory, may I be more precise? Realizing that there is no need anymore to hold on to these fears so as to protect yourself. Past that point is very much like it's time for you to have fun and to stop trying to fit in and to stop trying to figure it out just like others do. Oh, I'm wanting to launch my business. Ask people. Just one example amongst many, many others. But it was it was a bit of a personal one, this idea of a business. Just go and ask the world, okay, how you want to create a beautiful business about this thing you're interested about. Cool. Go and ask the world how you build a business and watch yourself cry. Oh yeah, in order to launch a business, you need to do this, this, and that. You need to have the perfect website. You need to show up on social media. You need to do this. You need to do that. You need to do advertisement, and then you need to have this offer, and then you really need to think about your target clientele, and you need to do this, and you need to do that, and you just watch yourself crumble below all of that. Some people are excited by this, but when it comes to you, it's very much, I have this idea, and I want to turn it into a business, whatever business means to you at this point. Let's make it happen. I don't want to figure it out. You not wanting to figuring it out, you not wanting to figure it out is you being aligned and staying true to yourself. I'm gonna do what feels right to do right now, knowing that the next step will appear by themselves. This is how you're meant to work. And we're not gonna go any further. I just feel like this reading is almost waiting for a part 2, is saying spirit. But right now there's so much, I was about to say information, but I'm being told light codes almost. Like there's so much information being downloaded that we need to stop it now. So we're gonna pause it now. I don't know when the part 2 of this reading will come, probably in a future video. But I feel like this is enough information for a moment. But yeah, what a fantastic reading. Thank you so much, Pan number one, for sharing space with me today. Wow, that's all I gotta say. It just felt so, again, I can't really explain it. It just felt so deep, but it genuinely, now the spirit mentions it, it genuinely felt like there was a bit of information download going on, some light codes readjusting things. So I understand why we need to pause it now and not go any further. But yeah, that was food for thought, mildly destabilizing, but also empowering. And I feel like a profound confirmation for all of those here functioning this way who may feel like they don't fit in just because their heart is telling them to do something that the mind wouldn't, you know. So I just felt like it was such a lovely reading, very inspiring. In any way, shape, or form, please let me know down in the comments how it went for you. I'd love to read about your feedback. Also, while you're at it, please like the video and subscribe. That support me a lot and know that you like this kind of content. And then I'm gonna leave you on this one. Please take care. Honor who you are. You're gorgeous. You're lit. So honor that. Don't try to dim your light just for the sake of fitting in, especially if it makes you sick. Okay, I'm gonna see you then. Bye. Hey there, Pan number two, how are you doing? Welcome to the reading. If you chose the moss agate, that's gonna be your reading, and we're gonna get right into it. Pan number one was lit, so I really do feel that all of these readings are gonna be very, very insightful. Let's get to it. Oh, you got 3 cards to begin with. A lot of water, to say the least. They're never gonna fit in the frame, are they? Oh, even more water. Even more fish. And this guy, what the hell am I gonna put them? You know what, I'm gonna bring them up when relevant. For now, they're just gonna be cropped. There we go. So yeah, straight off the bat, when it comes to how you're, yeah, even reading like the ones outside the frame, how does your energy system works best? You are extremely fluid in nature. You are meant to change and keep on changing and navigating the tides. That's very much what I'm saying. It's like one of the most detrimental things for you is to embrace an earth sign in astrology approach, which is like very slow moving, very stable, very sturdy. It's like we set out to do this project that will last 15 years, and we're gonna get to do that, and we're gonna commit to that. And so for the next 15 years, we're gonna work on this project. It's like this is everything that will kill you, I feel. You are meant to not anticipate too much and just navigate the tides as they come. There's a lot of intuition, a lot of inner guidance going through, powerful gut feeling. And I just feel like this is how you best navigate life, honestly. The time for healing is letting me know that one of the most beautiful things for you to do is to focus on questioning your fears. And like anytime that you feel, basically anytime you feel that your mind is resisting your heart, this is an invitation for you to realize that there's something that needs to be released, something that's been held on, that is ready to be released, so as to get to know ourselves, let go of that, alleviate the mind, and hear more clearly the heart. Because this is very much what I'm seeing here. Is like, that's funny, I'm feeling drowsy whenever I'm reading your pile. It just feels such a cute pile, such a easygoing, flowy pile, and I just feel like you just gotta be extremely clear on where you're taking these decisions from, because it can, someone who doesn't know themselves very well can easily end up making decisions that they'll regret and not even know why. They'll say, but it was logical. I wanted to do this, so I did that. That's like super logical. Yeah, you're not a logical person, sweetheart. And I'm not saying it in a literal sense. I'm not saying that you're stupid. I'm not saying you're dumb. I'm not saying that you're not logical. I'm saying that your energy system is not based of logic. See it this way rather. Your strongest compass is not your mind, but I mean by a far margin, you cannot even compare them. When it comes to earth signs in astrology, if you want them, like Virgo, Taurus, what's the last one already? Capricorn. We're not really talking about archetypes, but when you see these people who are really like, yeah, very grounded and all that jazz, they will really take the time to consider all the options and really tune into what is the most sensible thing to do, what is the most right thing to do, righteous thing to do. It works perfectly for them. That's not your case. That's just not your case. You are here to navigate the tides as they keep on moving through your intuition. And I just feel like this added fluidity just makes it so that you navigate through life with such ease, or potential ease, you know, and that anything can happen anywhere for as long as you're truly tuning into your intuition and your gut feeling. These truly are some of your strongest guiding systems. Comes also the heart and everything that you feel inspired by. But you're truly asked, yeah, to tune into your heart, to tune into that which you feel, these unexplainable nudges in one direction or another. And really focus on opening up that heart. Because the more you open up the heart, the better you feel. Okay, sure. But the more clearly and distinctively you can hear the guidance as well. And you will notice that yes, your guidance will not always take you in the most logical direction, because your guidance rewrites and shortcuts the mind. This is true for any human being, really. But intuition always shortcuts the mind, because intuition picks up on information that the mind doesn't have access to. So intuition will always guide you to your destination in a third of the time that the mind would. But again, it's like we're all different. So some people will tune into their intuition through their passion, what excites them, and that's how their intuition will catch their attention. Some people will be more about like when they're present with themselves, when they're grounded, what we were talking before. Some people will tune into their intuition when they get excited about an idea and when they start brainstorming. You know, everyone has their ways of doing it. When it comes to it, it's very much like what moves you within. Where's that gut feeling? Where's that emotion? What is that really gets you? That really inspires you? That makes you feel like, oh my god. And I truly feel like anything is possible, really, if you give it a chance, if you give yourself a chance to follow with it. It's like raw intention. You're really asked to just dream big, set your intentions out into the world, and just go for it. And when I say go for it, some of you will be like, oh, but I don't know what to do. You're doing it wrong then. When I say go for it, I mean listen to your heart. Maybe the first thing that your heart will tell you is, okay, now take your pill and go to sleep. And so you will. Again, your heart won't always agree with your mind. The mind is here to catch up with the heart, not the other way around, okay? Just making it clear. There's here again like a request from spirit to override your intuition. Literally, it's like you know much better than your mind does. Again, not to say that you're stupid or anything. That's not the point. It's understanding where your wisdom comes from. Your mind is very good at navigating some things. When it comes to wisdom and where you want to go in life, that's not your mind's job. That's the thing. Another thing that I'm feeling is make space for yourself. I feel like a lot of you feel uneasy when it comes to committing to something. That's something that makes you really easy because it's not natural to you to like commit. Like, okay, I'm gonna do this. What we're discussing, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna commit to this project for the next 15 years of my life. It's like, that's horrifying. And it's not a commitment issue, that from what I'm picking up, it's that you need to be very careful about and very clear on what are your intentions. Let's say you're committing to a wedding. I'm gonna take this example. You're thinking of a wedding, and you're like, okay, then I'm gonna get into really like it's official that it's becoming a long-term relationship with this guy, that girl, and it feels like a commitment. It's like, oh my god, it's supposed to stay for the rest of the life, and oh my god, I don't know if I can handle that. Be extremely clear that if you're doing that, is because you're committing to your joy, committing to a happy relationship. You're not committing to a wedding. It's the same thing ultimately, but one is focusing using the mind, the other one is focusing on the same topic, seeing through the lenses of your heart. That's very much what I'm seeing. Is like, you commit to your heart, you commit to what feels good, you commit to your beautiful intentions, you commit to your dreams. You don't commit to things staying one way or another forever. That is very detrimental. And that is why I totally understand if some of you feel like commitment issues. It's like, I'm at school, I have a group project that I have to create with some classmates, and I'm like, oh my god, it's gonna take a long time. I'm afraid I'm I'm gonna lose interest somewhere in the middle. It's fine. It's you realizing that you're flowy in nature. So yet again, Spirit is saying, you understand that sometimes in life you need to commit. You're being asked to be extremely careful, and not careful, it's not the right word, but to be extremely aware of what's the point, what's the standpoint from which you're committing. Are you committing to a goal or an objective, which may not always feel good, or are you committed to an emotion? You're committed to feeling good, you're committed to enjoying something, you're committed to seeing a dream come real. Again, it's the same thing. The mind would argue that's the same thing, but the focus is entirely different though. The heart knows that the focus is very different. So please be careful what you're committing to and from which perspective you're looking at the situation. And also, please give yourself space. You know that if you're like committing to something which you know feels like a trap, don't be mad at yourself when you feel inspired to do something else. Okay? That's just who you are. The sooner you accept it and see it as a beautiful thing, a beautiful nature of yours, the quicker at peace you'll find yourself. Because being at war with yourself or not being able to finish up these projects or anything won't change you. Actually, this is just who you are. You're here to explore and to jump from one thing and another to another, and to really embrace the flowy nature of water. You know, it's like, I'm just seeing like the picture of an ocean. If you look at an ocean every day, the waves are different. If you look at its surface, it's always changing, it's always different. And that's okay, we love it this way. When you deep dive, you realize that below the always and ever-changing surface, it's always the same deep down. That's very much what I'm getting here. Is if you commit to the waves, you're gonna get distraught from one day to another, because each time the weather changes, you will see that what you've committed to changes too, and you're like, what the heck? I don't want that anymore. If you're committing to the depth of it, to the emotion, to what moves you, that won't change. I love that. It truly feels like an invitation to fully accept yourself and your flowy nature, and to confirm to those who are already embracing it, well, yeah, you're killing it. You know, it's like, that's just who you are, that's just how you work, and it works fantastically. Until you start comparing yourself to others and wanting to commit to things, and that's when problems start. Thank you so much, pal number 2, for this reading, for being present with that reading, especially particularly. That was very insightful. That was deep, I feel. That was needed to be heard. Again, I just feel like some of you are already very much on point when it comes to these topics, and it's just a confirmation telling you, you're killing it, boss, keep on going. And for all those of you, it's just like, hey, maybe if it didn't feel as good before, maybe try that and see if maybe aligning with how you function feels better, which, guess what, it might, but you won't know it until you try. So yeah, please let me know in the comments how it went for you. Did it resonate? What do you think of it? I'd love to know. What do you feel about it? And yeah, also while you're at it, please like the video and subscribe. That support me a lot. That being said, I'm going to move on to pile number 3. In the meantime, you keep on being, you keep on going with your fishy business. And I'm going to be seeing you in my next video. Bye. Hey there, pile number 3. How are you doing? If you chose the Carnelian, that's going to be your reading. Hope you're doing good. I'm going to get into it. When it comes to the cards, so far, all the groups have been extremely insightful. And I know it's going to be the same here. So when it comes to how does your energy work, there's already, oh yeah, there's already quite a thing happening. Then we got other cards which naturally won't fit. Ugh. Well, I'm gonna try to move the cards as we go along so that I can, no, I'm gonna keep it on the side for a minute. I'm gonna start with these 4 ones, then I'm gonna put the other ones on top because we're not gonna be able to read them otherwise. Pile number 3, funny that you chose the Carnelian, which is like set the color. It's the fire, it's the inner fire, it's the sacral, and definitely deals with creativity and good feeling and sensuality as well, but just feeling good and feeling in your feminine. And that's definitely one thing that I'm seeing about is like your, I was about to say your mood, not really, but your state of being, your mindset is extremely important to you. I feel like you are naturals when it comes to manifesting, and that to me indicates one thing is that you are extremely energy sensitive. That means that if you focus a little too much on one thing, it happens. It just precipitates into your life. And because like all the cards I'm seeing here are very much invitations to stay positive, to believe in yourself, to have a like an inside springs cleaning if there are some limiting beliefs and doubts which are going in the way. Because I truly feel like for as long as you're aligned, for as long as you keep your mind aligned with your heart, nothing can really stop you. And that's really what I'm tuning into. It's like when you feel good, things just happen. That's it. There's nothing to be understood. I feel like, yeah, you're very energy sensitive. So that is also telling me like, please be careful about what you're spending time around. Everything is always influencing you, and you're always influencing other things. Yes, you can protect yourself. Yes, you can use your favorite crystal so when you get down, so that you are the most protected possible, and you can say your little bubble intention and everything you want. Okay. That being said, for those of you who did understand a single thing of what I said, that being said, still, I feel like an invitation to be conscious about the people you spend time around, the places you get yourself into, because some people and some places can be inspiring, which is good. Some others can have the opposite effect, okay? It's just a thing. So being careful, being conscious of it is definitely something that I see here. But I definitely think is like you sitting in the pit of creation, you having all the possibilities in the world because of how sensitive you are in your energy system, and that means that it's extremely easy for you to manifest. So I'm pretty sure that whatever you are experiencing today is pretty much a darn close representation of whatever you believe in, or at least whatever you focus on the most. And I just feel like this is another thing that I'm hearing is how things can scaringly quickly shift in one direction or another whenever you make an internal shift, again because of that that high energy sensitivity. But it's very much what I'm saying is like, yeah, you are made for success, you are made for prosperity, you are extremely lucky. We have like 2 references to luck. You're just being asked to completely claim your worth, to free yourself from any negativity that is no longer serving you, you know, and just standing proudly and lovingly, self-lovingly, if you can even say it, in your being. Because this is really what moves a mountain. This isn't something that makes sense. It's just something that is. It's just this way when it comes to you. You're an energy worker. You're an energy sensitive. And whenever you keep your your being right, whenever you're consciously working towards having a state of embodiment which is right and positive, which feels good to you, that's when miracles happen. I just feel like nothing is held back from you. It's just a matter of whether you allow it or not, because when you say no, you move mountains too. It's like if you don't want it, it's never going to happen in a million years. So that is a great power, but which naturally comes with a great responsibility. You gotta become aware of what you're saying, basically. Because if you can have everything at your fingertip, this is very much like the magician energy that I'm tuning into. You can have everything at your fingertip if you ask for it, but are you aware of what you're unconsciously asking for? That's the whole thing. It's a beautiful power to have, but which comes with greater responsibility because of how powerful you are. I'm definitely tuning into like I'm getting a bit of a weird story, but younger souls, they're not necessarily aware of these things, and they're not necessarily meant to be aware of these things. That's not necessarily why they're here. So younger souls can easily be a little less sensitive, and that's okay, because they're not going to explore as many dimensions of life, and it's more like going to be their spirit handling a lot of things behind the back. When it comes to you, it's like you've got quite some lives under your belt. It's not your first time here, and so you definitely, I just feel like you chose to come in this life with the power within your hands. It's like, I appreciate spirit working with me and helping me and assisting me, which you definitely got on, but I'm also happy to just have the power directly myself, because I know I can handle it and because I've done it a million times before. So it's like you got all the power within your hands, but as we said, with greater power, with immense power comes greater responsibility. You first need to become aware of yourself. If that, and that's why I feel like some of you may have had, like with this red color, I can see some frustration even here. I can see some frustration as in, that you're energy sensitive, that intuitively you already know that you're supposed to be very good at it, that you're supposed to be very good at creating the life that you want, but somehow you just feel like it just ain't happening for a reason or another. That's very much what it is. It's like, no, because of the fact you're so hecking good at it, it just all happens scaringly fast. That means that all of this unconscious stuff that we may be carrying, it gets thrown into our face because of just how good we are at manifesting it. The plus side of it is that it makes it that much easier for you to see it and heal it, and you can see it this way. It's like nothing is lost at the end of the day, even if all the things which are residing in our unconscious, which we may still be attached to, are manifesting that quickly as the things that we want consciously to focus on. While the things that may be a little unpreferred, well, we're gonna recognize them very easily, because that's another thing. It's like you're energy sensitive, you're aware of what's going on within and without. So when something is not pleasing, you do feel the trigger and you do recognize it within, so that makes the process that much easier. So spirit is just saying, we're sorry, but you made the choice to be extremely powerful, so now you're gonna have to deal with it, basically. That's very much what I'm saying, is like you're just so good at it, and you're just such a bright star. I'm like, I keep on eyeing these colors behind the one that the skunk spirit. Was about to call it skunk spirit, but no, that's no, that's not its name. I just wanted to check it. um like these colors, they're just inspiring like so much light, so much love. It's like so much more than just a regular newbie soul. There's not anything wrong with that either, but it's just like, okay, you chose all of this extreme power because you are an extremely powerful creature. Good, deal with it now. Yes, it can be frustrating at first because it means that you won't escape your lessons, basically. You'll have to deal with them head on at first. But you know that in the great scheme of things, in the long run, that is well worth it. Talking about these new cards, you are epic. There you go. Confirmation. I also see, like, with this card, the reference with the third eye. Do we see on camera? Yes, we do. With the reference with the third eye and the elephant, I just feel like, yet again, also energy very wise and also very aware with that third eye, yet again. It's like, even if things can feel a little frustrating at times because you feel like you're just running into some obstacles because you notice that you're figuring out a bit of stuff that may be residing in the unconscious, you're aware of it and you move through it scaringly fast. And these two cards I find interesting because I generally see that when it comes to your energy system, you know, sometimes we say in order to embrace the life of your dreams, you need to visualize it and to believe as if it was already true and blah 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 and all that kind of jazz. You're a master at it, and that such doesn't really apply. You're not like believing that something will happen is not enough when it comes to you. You're past that. You're past that shit. That's what I'm hearing. It's like you're not here to believe that things will happen. You're here to know. Again, you're extremely self-aware. You're extremely aware. You're not here to believe. You're here to experience it. You're here to know. That's not fate. That's knowing. That's a very different and much more assertive energy. Yet again, it comes with greater responsibility, though. That's the thing. It's like you're not here to believe in good stuff. You're here to feel them within you and know that it has no choice but to happen as a result. That's why I'm going back to this idea of you being extremely conscious about your embodiment and the energies that you're embodying, because you know that this is very much what you're getting as a result. Spark of Hustle, I just feel like there's so much fun. One thing that your energy system definitely feels wired around is fun. And I wouldn't be surprised if at times when you are pushing yourself to do things that you don't really want to do, you happen to be like a good procrastinator and someone who easily falls into distractions. I'm hearing ADHD, but yet again, it's like not ADHD in the sense of, oh yeah, that's a mind thing that you have to deal with. It's just like someone getting diagnosed with ADHD because they think, and them growing up to think that it's just a quote unquote problem about them that they're going to have to deal with, whenever in fact it expressing itself as ADHD is just because we're misaligned, that we haven't understood how we're meant to work. There isn't like having fun, playtime, feeling like a kid. These aren't luxuries. These are basics of how your energy system works. If you haven't had enough fun in a day, trust and believe that anything you try to do by the end of that day, you will be hecking distracted, and you will always gravitate towards distractions and fun, because you haven't had your dose of fun, you haven't had your dose of laughters, and as such, your body is trying to desperately find an outlet by the end of the day. That's what I'm hearing. That's why I'm also hearing that you may be very focused early on in the day, and the more the day passes, and the harder it gets to focus on the tasks. And that is only, and so people, yeah, thinking that they have a problem with procrastination or ADHD, whenever the truth is, it's just that so far you were not necessarily understanding fully how you function intrinsically. There is no such thing as ADHD when you understand how you're meant to work. That is a lot of the things that we don't understand about the energy body. When the energy body starts doing its things, we immediately label it with syndromes and deficiencies and mental illnesses, and that's a good first effort so as to help the people who are experiencing them, who may themselves not understand what's going on, so as to help themselves seen and understood, and that helps them in turn having more compassion for themselves, and that eases them through the process. The problem is when you start identifying with these things, because the things aren't, you were not born this way, and it is false to assume that you have ADHD and it's going to be like that till the end of time. No, I'm sorry, sweetheart, that's not a human thing. Like, you got ADHD because you got unmet needs, basically. You can't focus on one thing at a time because because your body is like craving a need. That's what I'm getting. And besides the point besides talking about ADHD and this need and whatever, really, I just feel like this is really something. Experience in academy, it goes well beyond that. It's very important. Fun, like keeping yourself in a space of creativity and laughter and fun, it really drives you. It's like it's one of, you're here for that. You're here to show the world about these things. So it's not just something that nourishes you. It's something that also aligns you with your purpose and goes well beyond that. That's what I'm hearing. You're here to shine. Like all of these cards, we all got like reference to something shining in the imageries. You're definitely here to shine. So you're here to show the world what it's like to shine bright. And whenever you feel yourself distracted, procrastinating, ADHD like, or things of that kind, that's when your body's telling you you're not shining bright enough. You're not investing in that which makes you shine. So that's something to keep in mind. Well, okay, thank you for having been here, pound number 3. That was a very interesting reading. I feel very insightful yet again. Very unique, to say the least. But very cool and cozy to read your energy. So yeah, I really did appreciate that. Please let me know down in the comments how it went for you. I'd love to have your thoughts and your feedback about it. While you're at it, please also like the video and subscribe to let me know that you enjoy this kind of content. And yeah, honestly, practice having fun. Practice getting to know yourself, practice discovering yourself, practice having good laughters. And yeah, I'm gonna be seeing you in my next video. Till then, take care of yourself, okay? Bye.